This is Mark Anthony with Mercury Time Price Analytics, and welcome to our end of day video update for algorithmic trading of ES, NQ, crude oil, and bond futures. On our screen right now is the live chart that our subscribers have access to through our Zoom channel, and I've got a little bit of a cold, so unfortunately YouTube does not have a cough button, so we'll try and make it through without too many interruptions like that. See? Right on cue. So let's take a look at bonds first. The bond algo is crushing it as it usually does. Not usually, I mean, this always crushes it. So long down here, short, long. Whenever the algo flips that quickly, it's going to be a fast move. But what I want to show you is this move has been stunning in bonds. So this week the algo got long down here at 57, 12, 13. And we've had this move up and down. And one of the cool things about our algo is when it flips, for example, if it flips from short to long, it's going to flip long at a lower price. And if it flips long to short, that short is going to come at a higher price. So our algo doesn't flip and trap you in a trade that's losing. If it's going to flip, you're able to lock in profits. And these horizontal lines, if you haven't seen any of our videos before, these are our proprietary profit capture pivots. So you have plenty of opportunity to take partial profits along the way. For example, in this long here, you had an opportunity 1, 2, 3, 4 of our pivot levels. We call them profit capture pivots because that's what they're for. They allow you to leg out of the position, taking profits along the way. But this move has been stunning all the way up to a little bit under 160. Now, we've got the stock market, or the equity futures market, that's doing this. Well, one of them is going to be right, and one of them is going to be wrong. And I want to show you a screenshot. This is one of our proprietary algos. Now, this purple algo here is a very, very oversold level. And one of the things we try to get folks to understand is that oversold readings really have little to do with the absolute number of handles. You had a high up here of 33.37. You had a low right at 3,300. That's 37 handles. That's nothing in terms of move, in terms of points or in terms of percentage. And you get oversold readings like this when you start breaking many, many technical levels. And so if you're a bull, you want to see a new high and not just a little overthrow that fails. You need to see something substantial, because when you do this type of technical damage, and I'll show you this on another chart in a minute, you're in a very, very dangerous market. If you're just watching this for your own information, whether it's just for your own info or whether you're thinking about subscribing to our service, please, no matter what you do, be careful. This is a very, very dangerous structure, because when you get these oversold readings down to this algo, you will almost always see a retest within 3 days and then another retest after that within 7 days. 3 days, you'll typically get the first test. Then 5 to 7, you'll get the third one, which is very dangerous. So just wanted to, and the reason I mentioned that is risk management is the most important thing we do. You could have, lousy instincts as to where to enter trades, and if you have good risk management, you're still going to make money. If you have an algo like we have, that, in my opinion, and I'll keep saying this till someone proves me otherwise, is the most accurate long-short entry oscillator there is, institutional or otherwise. But when you have that along with these profit capture pivots, for example, let me zoom this out just a little bit. So you have this low here to the tick. And by the way, is that accurate enough? To the tick, down to our proprietary oversold oscillator, to the tick. The algo triggered long at, it was short from up here, and actually this is just a continuation of the short up here at 33.31.50. But when the algo triggered long, this is what I mean by profit capture pivots. So the algo flipped long 33.12. Let's count the number of profit capture pivots that you had to give you an opportunity to take incremental profits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's two of them right there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 opportunities to take profits at an algorithmic pivot. Now, I'm not implying that you're trading a 16 lot and taking profits every couple of handles. I'm just saying our systems are designed to accommodate a wide range of trading styles. Now, this is the live chart that our subscribers see through the Zoom channel. We've got a couple different packages. We've got a package for ES and NQ. We've got a separate package for bonds and crude oil. And then there's a third package for Bitcoin, and they're all separately priced. So if you trade ES, NQ, and you don't trade bonds or crude oil, or if you trade crude oil but not bonds, I mean, we have these split up so people can subscribe to what they want. And the way we run our ES live chart, this is our swing trading oscillator. This is our day trading oscillator. So, pardon me again. So what a number of our subscribers do to trade ES, they'll trade the day trade algo with the ES, the mini, which is $50 a handle, and then trade the swing trading algo using the micro minis, where it's $5, so 10 of those equals a mini. And that way you don't need two separate brokerage accounts to day trade and swing trade ES at the same time. Over here we've got NQ. Down here we have Apple and Microsoft. Sorry again. And what you see running through, I'm a one-take kind of guy, so please forgive me for these coughs. Running through here, you have our single daily algo bull bear pivot. So we've got Microsoft, we've got Apple, we've got the S&P advanced decline line, we've got the VVIX, which is the volatility of VIX. Over here we have the VXX, and VXX normally as an opposite orientation. So if ES is going up, VXX is going down. So we use the inverse so that they're in the same orientation. So that way, for example, if ES is going up or going sideways, for example, and we see this inverse VXX, which we run at a faster time cycle, if we see that divergent, that gives us an early clue. But let me go back here. Here we got bonds, and you can see today our single daily bull bear pivot. These are produced in an hour and a half before the RTH open. For equities, for example, if you're on the East Coast, the regular trading hour session starts at 9:30. We produce this at 8 o'clock in the morning. And this is the single price fulcrum pivot all day long. And it's produced an hour and a half before the market opens. And to give you an idea, we'll just randomly, let's pick Apple. Here you have our single daily bull bear pivot for today for Apple. Now, we don't just look at the chart and say, well, that looks like a good spot for it. It's an algorithm. It's run at a particular cycle at a specific minute. The reason that our systems are more accurate than anything that I have ever seen is because we have the time cycles nailed better than and there may be institutions out there that have something as accurate as this. I've never seen a consumer algo that is anywhere close to this, because you have to know the exact specific time cycles that ES runs on, and any other equity that trades continuously runs on. And you have to know the specific minute to run it, or you don't get this kind of accuracy. So here's your single daily bull bear pivot for Apple. You got to move up, down, and once it releases, it goes. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Single daily bull bear pivot. Our subscribers get this every morning, an hour and a half before the RTH session starts. Single daily bull bear pivot for Microsoft. Boom, boom, boom. You've got all this congestion, which is what you get around a bull bear pivot, and then it releases. And sometimes they'll release up and sometimes down. But we do this every day. We do it for our subscribers. Even the daily bull bear pivot for ES, NQ, SPY. If you're an SPY options trader, you will absolutely love. I've got subscribers that do nothing but trade SPY options off the single daily bull bear pivot we give them, and they literally make money 8 out of 10 days, just based on that one metric alone, let alone our algorithmic entry oscillator, which was short on ES 3331.50, flipped long today in the afternoon at 33.12. So you can take our systems and you can trade the tar out of options if that's what you like to do. Let's take a look at crude oil. I had one of our traders send me an email yesterday, and he's got both the the bonds crude oil package and the ESNQ package, and he sends me an email that on crude oil in the last 3 days, he just started middle of last week. On crude oil in the last 3 days, he made enough money to pay for his subscription for 2 years. On bonds, he made enough in the last 2 days to pay for a little over 2 years in his first week. So what we charge for this service, if you put it in terms of ES, it costs you a little bit more than one ES handle a week. Our ES Algo has booked, and the exact number isn't in front of me, it's way, way over 500 handles since December 26th. So do the math. It's approaching 600 handles. I don't have the exact number. But you take a look at our crude oil algo. Long Friday, 3:12 in the afternoon, we get this spike up. It flips short Monday morning, and you have multiple opportunities at our profit capture pivots. But one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight on the video is when the algo flips quickly from long to short or vice versa, you're going to get a big move. And this is what we got. The algo got short here, very quickly realized that there was something wrong, and boom. And then you run all these stops. Now, the algo flipped long late in the day, and it's looking like it wants to roll over again. We'll see. But at what point in a move like this does the algo get long? Well, it gets long after the folks that tried to buy this dip get burnt, and the folks who tried to buy this dip get burnt, and the folks who tried to buy this dip got burnt, and the ones that bought this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And then when all of those dip buyers are gone, then it'll go. And again, I don't know whether this is going to be anything sustained. It's real close to rolling over again. But if you're a ES futures trader, please be very, very, very careful on the long side, because you have bonds doing this, and you got crude oil doing this. You cannot have, for an extended period of time, bonds going from the bottom left of your chart or screen to the top right, and crude going from the top left to the bottom right, and have ES continue to go up. It can do it for a period of time. It cannot do it for very long. There's going to be a problem. So I just wanted to point out a couple things. When you get these quick turns, that's what you get. Let me take a look at the setup for ES. So this is what's very concerning. You had this move down that broke all kinds of, I mean, I'm not even going to bother to count the number of algorithmic pivot levels. Late in the day, it comes up here, and if it's going to fail, as I told our subscribers, watch this X2 pivot. This arrow should be over there, but when you zoom in, it gets out of whack. This is a proprietary pivot, 3328.65. Now, our algorithm prints it, the output is decimalized. So please don't email me that we've got an algo pivot at 3328.65. We know that ES trades 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, and then the next round number. That's just the way the algo puts it out. And we do that for precision. But you get a move up here to this XS2 pivot. Before the Globex session each evening, we put out our proprietary Mercury upper band extensions. And I literally have lost count of the number of times that ES goes up exactly to that extension. Let me see if I have a screenshot here. And you can zip over to our handy dandy Slack channel that our members get. There we go. And as I pointed out, be very careful about the X2 pivot at 3328.65. These are our Mercury bands. We have to wait till after 5 o'clock Eastern time to run this because we need the full RTH close data, including that little bit from 4:30 to 5 o'clock. And the algorithm puts out 3 or 4 upper extensions, 3 lower extensions, and then the Mercury bands themselves. Now, it may trade higher tonight, but where did it stop to the tick? This was put out before Globex opened tonight. Bingo. To the tick. Before the market opened. It does this night after night after night after night. If you like to trade Globex, and I've got traders that do nothing but trade Globex till about 10 o'clock in the evening Eastern. You really don't want to trade it much longer than that because when you start getting into 11:30 U.S. Eastern time, you're getting into the lunch window in the China market where the volume dries up and it gets real choppy. But I've got traders who do nothing but trade Globex from 6 to 10, and that's it. And I've got one gentleman that he works during the day, and he can't be watching a chart. So literally his second job is trading our system in Globex from 6 o'clock to about 10:30, and that's it. So the main point that I wanted to get across on this video is this. If you never, ever, ever subscribe to one of our services, or don't even ever go to our website ever, please, please be very careful. This is one of the most dangerous setups I have ever seen. And I'm not trying to alarm anybody because this can go up another 50 handles tomorrow. Who knows? But again, you've got bonds going from the bottom left of your screen to the top right. You got crude oil going from the top left to the bottom right. And you've got ES going on its merry way, where for about 2 hours today, there wasn't a cumulative negative tick. Oh, really? That's normal. And I know there's a lot of liquidity being pumped into the market. And I know that the central banks, and I'm not calling the central banks out, but you have to understand that all the major central banks have trading desks, and their job is to maintain an orderly market. Now, the definition of an orderly market, I'll let you decide that. I'm not making any judgments on what the Fed's doing or not. I'll leave that up to you. It's not my job. And even if I had an opinion, I don't get paid a dime for it. But this type of, we expected a move off this low because you'll always get a move off this. But when you look at a chart and you get this type of 45-degree narrow channel, that is not natural. And the other side of that is dangerous. So again, the number one thing we do for our subscribers is risk management. You could do a lot of dumb things in the market. And when I say you, I don't mean you, I mean us collectively, because I've probably done more dumb things as a trader over the last 30 plus years than anybody I know. But that's how you learn. And hopefully you have someone to speed up the learning curve. Whether it's a friend or a video like this, it speeds up the learning curve and tries to warn you of potential mistakes. Look, you could make money on the long side. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But I'm just telling you, this is extremely dangerous because when you get these readings, you will almost always have a test within 3 days. And more often than not, another test within 5 days of this happening. Not to mention the fact that our cycles, our longer term cycles are just flashing red all over for the next week into February 2nd, plus or minus 1 day. The 27th, we've got cycle alerts coming up. Apple reports after the bell on Tuesday the 28th. I have no idea whether that's going to be bullish or bearish for the market. Don't care. All I'm telling you, or sharing with you, forgive me, um, all I'm sharing with you is that there are major, major time cycles that start on the 27th, give or take, not give or take, it's plus or minus 1 day when you're on these type of cycles. So Monday the 27th, plus or minus 1 day, that's when this danger period starts. That plus or minus 1 day could be Friday, who knows? Um, and they run into February 2nd, February 3rd, plus or minus 1 day. Extremely dangerous. And I'll say this for the third time. That doesn't mean you can't make money on the long side. But if you're trying to go long this market right now with this kind of garbage going on, please be careful of your stops, manage your risk, keep tight stops, because we could get a really fast move literally at any time. So if you'd like to check out our website, it is mercurysignals.com, and it looks like this. And again, one last quick note, and we don't put these videos out. I mean, sure, we'd love you to subscribe to our service, but we put these out for information, for education. And if you want to try one of our services, that's great. But I just wanted to note, we split these up. There's an ESNQ algo, there's a bonds crude algo, and there's a Bitcoin algo that is just ridiculous. Go to our website. You can sign up for one of our services. You can register for one of the upcoming webinars. We just did finish one this evening, a couple hours ago. The next one is Tuesday, the 28th at 8 p.m., which, just thinking, that is the Globex session after Apple reports. So there may be some fireworks while we're doing that webinar. The Tuesday webinar on the 28th is 8 p.m. Eastern Time, US. So just click the link, and when you click on that, you click the button to register, and bingo, that's all you got to do. You do need a password. I'm sorry, you don't need a password, you need to register for it. So once you register for it, get that off my screen, then you'll be able to attend that webinar next Tuesday. So again, for probably the 10th time, please be careful. This is incredibly dangerous, this market right now. And there's money to be made long and short, okay? This isn't some giant mega bear call. I'm just saying that this setup is extremely, extremely dangerous. And with that, that's going to wrap up our video today. We went a little bit longer than we normally do, 22 minutes and counting. Thank you so much for watching this. I know time is precious, and 22 minutes is a lot to devote to a video. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. God bless you. God bless your family, and we hope to see you real soon.